So in a previous video I showed you how to get at the speedometer cable on this Goldwing, and I figured because we have this apart, is now a good time to change the air filter, or at least check it. What do you think? Do you think it needs an air filter? Oh my goodness sakes. That's pretty nasty. There is also evidence of a nest of some kind in the bottom of this pocket as well, so we're going to clean the evidence out and check the wiring in that area. It looks like some wires are chewed in there. I guess it needs an air filter. So we're back working on this 1500 Goldwing here today. Got the air filter in today and I just installed it. I was putting this air induction system on and I see this little flap is broken inside here. The little pivot is broken off. I imagine that's a hot air intake system because it looks like it brings up air from around the engine rather than air from outside. It has a vacuum line connected to it. It appears to be like a hot air intake that they used to use on a lot of automotive applications. So the vacuum diaphragm can be removed by turning it counterclockwise, quarter turn, and then it comes out. And then I think the link is supposed to just unclip from that. This pivots. So I'm going to try and repair this because I don't imagine this will be easily accessible. I'll try and repair this little eye that's broken off here. So on closer examination of this little part here, that wasn't broken off, that was chewed off. You can see rodent teeth marks in there. That's why that came off. So I glued a plastic hydraulic cap to that stud and drilled a hole in it and then reconnected it. Now you see I'm actuating it with a vacuum pump. You can actually see the leading edge of this door is chewed on by rodents as well. And let the vacuum out. Now, if that cap pulls off, it really can't go anywhere because this is the dirty side of the air filter. So if worst case scenario, it ends up on top of the air filter, but it won't. I'm sure that'll be fine. And I don't think this is that critical anyways. It's like a cold air intake system. So there, that should keep the little vermin out. I do this often out here in the country. People live on farms and they have animals and feed, and of course it attracts all kinds of vermin. And then they look for a nice warm place to nest. So I got all kinds of screen like this to put over air induction systems. So we're going to change the fuel filter as well. So undo it at the top here, pry the hose off, and then I'm going to undo the bottom hose and slide the whole assembly up. There's a little rubber mount that the filter sits on, but once the hose is detached from the pickup unit in the gas tank here, it should come out easily. So there's the fuel filter installed, and looking at this one, it's been in there forever. Try to blow through it and it's actually pretty restricted. Focus. So it's a good thought to change it while we're in here, especially when you got to go to all this trouble to get at the Speedo cable that we're waiting for, and it hasn't showed up yet. I was hoping it was going to be here today, but no luck. So we're back working on this 95 Honda Goldwing Aspencade, and I finally received the Speedo cable. It was like 3 weeks to get it for some stupid reason. And I'm about to put it back together again this morning. First and foremost, we're going to lubricate this speedometer cable. There's very little lubricant on it, so some white lithium grease on the cable is recommended. I suppose you could use dielectric grease or silicone grease. And then we have to route the cable down in through the front of the vehicle here, down to the front. So I got the dash back installed, got the vents back installed. I hope you took notice of which vent came out of which side. I wrote top left on this one so I knew. I had difficulty putting this trim back on, and I didn't realize that there are two plastic levers inside here that must be released. Now I didn't release them when I took this off. It popped off, but this one was in the way and it wouldn't let this seam go down normal until I took it off and looked underneath to see what was going on with it. Well, there it is, mostly back together. think the hardest part is getting these stupid mirrors on and then getting the little rubber trim stretched over the clips. You have to get the screws by pulling the rubber up. These mirrors don't move. It's the inside of the mirror that moves. Just got to put the seat on. Yeah, it's pretty much done. Make sure it works. So I got the front wheel off the ground. I'm going to see if the Speedo works. Yay, it works. Okay, so we'll call this one fixed. Clean up a little bit here and take it for a road test.